Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
Efficiency, reliability, accuracy. Move forward with your real estate sale or purchase with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County, the most experienced closing team around. Working with clients locally and throughout the state, we offer a wide range of services, including the expertise of an on-staff attorney, backed by our more than 49 years experience in titles and closings. We get the job done on time at a fair price and ensure every last detail is correct. Our goal is to give you peace of mind. When you work with us, you work with people who live where you do. We understand the importance of the real estate community and strive to build strong relationships with all parties involved in the process. Whether you're buying a home, selling a business, acquiring land, or anything in between, you're in good hands with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County.
Put the most experienced closing team on your side. Contact Title and Escrow of Lawrence County today.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome into this Wednesday edition of the SEC Tailgate here on the X Sports Network. Michael Marks alongside Hayden Burks. And Hayden, we're in here a little early. Had to start the X Sports today a little early so AJ could get out to some football practices covering our local teams. But, hey, we still got plenty of stuff going on around the SEC. And as we're getting a little closer and closer to football season, there's a lot more stuff coming out. But we'll start off actually in baseball. The NCAA Division I Baseball Selection Committee, starting in 2026, will begin seeding teams 1 through 32 instead of just 1 through 16. So the teams outside of the top 16 will be placed in groups and then distributed with continued geographical considerations. So they're not going to send like a 2-seeded, I guess like an 18 or a 19 seed, like Oregon State, for example, to Knoxville, if there's like a Wake Forest around. So I like that. I think it's going to, it'll give some of these regional games a little bit more of a know what to expect, because you get 1 through 16 and everybody else is unranked. There's no top 25 anymore. You get 1 through 16. So it makes it pretty interesting. It's not going to have. I don't think it's going to have a crazy.
It's not going to have a big issue.
No, it's just going to. I would say this isn't changing anything except I guess there will be numbers 17 through 32 on those teams,
and there'll probably be like the second tier.
Yeah. Tennessee has sold out its allotment of men's basketball season tickets. So for this is for the third straight year. All 14,500 tickets have been sold. This is the fourth straight season with at least 14,000 sold, and the seventh straight season with at least 13,000 tickets sold. So men's basketball is becoming huge in Tennessee, and bringing in Rick Barnes about 10 or 11 years ago, I think was huge for the program. I think he's entering his ninth through 10th season with Tennessee this year, and it's been nothing but great. Also, the exhibition versus Duke. I mean, those tickets sold out like 10 minutes after they went out. Yeah. I was trying to get one, but I
say they made the post, and then 10 minutes later, I saw a graphic on their website saying, "Well, they're done."
Yeah. So getting a little harder to get in Thompson Bowling Arena or the Food City Center now.
In Tennessee.
Yeah. Big time. Arch Manning.
That's another rant for another day.
Yeah. Arch Manning had a little pushback to his grandfather Archie's comments. Remember, I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about him. His grandfather Archie said that he may forego the 2026 NFL draft and come back. Arch said, "Yeah, I don't know where he got that from. He texted me and apologized about that. I'm really just taking it day by day for now." And this kind of brings up an interesting dynamic with the top pick in next year's NFL draft. As of right now, the Saints are predicted to finish with the worst record in football and have the number 1 overall pick. So who do you go with? Do you go with Arch Manning, the grandson of Archie Manning? Archie spent 11 years at the helm. Now, they weren't great years. The Saints only finished above or 500 or above once. Archie got sacked almost 300 times, over 300 times in those 11 years, and even read something today where other teams' defenses would not go as hard on Archie as they would on other quarterbacks because they felt bad for him because he's getting sacked 10 times every week, it feels like. Or, this is an interesting one that I just realized while I was making this, actually. And this is saying that nobody on the Saints staff gets fired after this year, which could happen. Do the Saints go with Garrett Nussmeier? The Saints just brought in new offensive coordinator Doug Nussmeier, Garrett's father, and Garrett plays right down the road in Baton Rouge. Keeping a kid in state wouldn't be the craziest decision. Got Nussmeier, another one of those names up there. I mean, there's like 7 quarterbacks this year who could be top overall picks. So makes it very interesting decision for the Saints. And who's to say the Saints even have the number 1 pick? They may fall to 3 or 4, and it could definitely change things up. But very interesting right now, looking at what the quarterback situation in New Orleans will be looking like in the future, based off just some SEC guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
but they could even go for a Cade Klubnik. But I just think familiarity with the Manning family or with the Nussmeier family would probably be a better option for them. Yeah. Out of which of those I would go with, I'm not sure.
Of course, I need to see what Tyler Sloan does from Louisville.
Yeah.
I think we need to see him this year. If you're Saints fans,
we got to realize the Saints aren't. They don't. Obviously, it's a little weird with Kellen Moore as the head coach. I've just seen him as a coordinator for so long, but he was the offensive coordinator, and Doug Nussmeier was the quarterbacks coach for the Eagles last year. Who, while they were known for their defense, offense wasn't bad. I mean, they had Saquon Barkley run for well over 2,000 yards, or pretty close to it. I mean, you don't. I would say you don't know what you're getting out of it.
I mean, you might not need a quarterback because if Tyler, comes in and takes Spencer's spot, he could be the guy. And so, like I said, it's a bunch of down the line fantasy, like a fantasy draft. There you go. Is what's going to be. Is like, okay, if we got the number 1 pick, is Manning going? Is he going to declare for the draft? He's going to go back to Texas for 1 more year.
Well, that's the thing. Nussmeier, he is a 5th-year senior. This is this is it for him. Arch could go back another year. Obviously, he didn't make it seem like that in that quote, saying I don't know where he got that from, talking about what his grandfather had said a couple weeks ago. But
if he's projected that high, I think
if you're a projected top, even first-round pick, you're going.
You're going to
because if you go back, you're adding another year to your age. You might not progress. You might get injured, take a step back, and you're throwing away a lot of money. So this is a fun stat, talking about Week 1 of college football. Julian Sayin was the announced starting quarterback for Ohio State in Week 1 against Texas. That'll be 2 quarterbacks, pretty much their first time being at the helm. Now, obviously, Arch had a couple of games last year where he started over Ewers because Ewers had that injury. But this will really be the first time that these two are the guys for their teams. Well, in the last 20 years, when a quarterback makes his first start against the number 1 team in the country, they are 0-18.
Yeah.
But it's at Ohio State.
It is.
So, I mean, just some stats I'm reading about this game. I mean, you really don't know what you're going to get.
No.
Because you're like, Ohio State, they lost so much. They have a first-year quarterback. They lost their defensive coordinator. They lost so many big pieces. They still have Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. Probably the best offensive and best defensive player in college football. Still on that team.
I think Texas's offense is going, or not offense, their defense is going to be too much for them. Because in my opinion, I think Texas has the best SEC defense.
And I think Texas still has that. I think it was the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
From last year, still stuck in that mind. Losing that one there at the end against Ohio State.
Sarkisian's going to want to make a statement.
Oh, yeah. Freshman All-American team was released on 3 Tuesday morning. a list that was covered in the SEC offense. On the offensive side of the ball, Dallas Wilson, a big-time receiver for Florida, has been dealing with some injury problems, but he should be good to go for Week 1. David Sanders from Tennessee, a big 5-star offensive lineman. Michael Fasusi, an offensive lineman from Oklahoma. Juan Gaston, from an offensive lineman from Georgia. On the defensive side of the ball, it's a lot of linemen. Marcus Jones, an edge rusher from A&M. Jaden Woods, an edge rusher from Florida. Elijah Griffin, a defensive lineman from Georgia. DJ Pickett, a DB from LSU. And usually when defensive backs head to LSU and are highly talked about before the season, they're going to be really good. So I would say, I think DJ Pickett might be a name you need to know. And then Grayson Littleton, a defensive back from Texas. So a lot of young talent in the SEC. We've talked about how much new's been a word we've used a lot, how much new we're getting in the SEC. But with this group of names, that could be some guys you hear about for a couple years.
Those are freshmen that are going to make impact quick, in my
big
opinion.
time. Top drawer soccer, a top college soccer insider named Tennessee forward Shea O'Rourke as their National Women's Player of the Week. O'Rourke was huge in the Vols' upset win over North Carolina, scoring both goals in that game, and then tacking on one more in the Lady Vols win later that week against Eastern Kentucky. Lady Vols 2-0 already, off to a hot start.
Great start.
But they head to UCLA this week, so it will be a tough matchup out on the West Coast. All right, so when we come back, we're going to talk a little SEC win totals, how they've changed from early in May to now, and then we got some teams claiming some national championships that they may or may not deserve. We'll be talking about that coming up next.
From our humble beginnings to today, Parks Lumber Company has continuously served Lawrence and surrounding counties for over a century. Although we started as a small lumber yard in 1896, we have grown to include everything you need to make your dream project come to life. No matter your building needs, our experienced staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure you receive the highest customer service and attention to detail you deserve. Visit us at 106 2nd Street or on Facebook. We guarantee you will see working with PLC is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Got primary care? Find your way to better health with primary care by One Stop Medical. With decades of combined experience, you'll find a one-on-one relationship just like the old days, but with the convenience and technology of today. When One Stop Medical does primary care, it's the best. Call today for an appointment and find your way to healthy living. Serving Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Hohenwald. Phone 931-244-8220. Primary care by One Stop Medical at its best.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gain Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through life's obstacles. Jack Davis specializes in group insurance for businesses and institutions of all sizes. With coverage for life, accidents, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision, Jack Davis can customize a plan to meet every need. Now available Medicare plans for seniors. Contact Paige Davis at 931-492-9284 today for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drug plan insurance. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987, call the team at Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
Flooring sets the tone throughout your home.
For flooring that makes the right first impression, start by choosing us, Floored by Justin.
A one-stop flooring destination. Our new location stands alone for unequaled customer service and selection. Owner Justin Story's mastery of custom hardwood inlays means every room can have a custom look. Discover how the right choice of hardwood, laminate, carpet, or tile can set the tone in your home. Contact Floored by Justin today.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
Volco Auto Supply in Lawrenceburg has a legacy of being a family-owned and operated company. Since 1927, our business has grown and evolved into today's one-stop source for all your automotive supplies. But in that time, one thing has stayed the same, and that's our commitment to our customers and their needs. At Volco Auto Supply, you'll find everything for your car, truck, or even fleet of vehicles, but with good old-fashioned customer service the way it needs to be. That's Volco Auto Supply, 416 Buffalo Road in Lawrenceburg. Visit VolcoAuto.com.
The Raptor Series from Hustler Turf. A premium line of residential mowers designed with a wide stance for operator comfort. A one-piece 11-gauge steel frame and welded steel deck for added durability. Finished off with premium Kawasaki V-twin power. We are Hustler Turf, and this is Hustler Country.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back to the SEC Tailgate. Michael Marks, Hayden Burks, and we're talking about SEC win totals. So this is something I saw on X earlier today, and it was a comparison of the win total bets for the SEC teams on the 13th of May to today, the 20th of August. Not a whole lot has changed because, I mean, by the 13th of May, you pretty much knew what the teams were looking like.
You didn't know who starters would be.
Yeah, I would say you
knew what you had and what you didn't have.
A little bit better of an idea. Alabama was still sitting at 9.5. Arkansas has actually bumped down from 5.5 to 5. Auburn is still at 8. Florida still at 7.5. Now, some of these have changed with who's betting the over more, who's betting the under more. Georgia has stayed the exact same with odds and everything. Kentucky has gone from more people picking the over on 4.5 to now more people picking under. I agree with that.
Yeah.
LSU was 8.5 heavy on the over, and now those odds have dropped it to just even for either
even
or.
8?
And 8.5 in the even amount of bets.
Oh wow.
Mississippi State went from 3.5 to 4 wins. People still taking the over on that. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Missouri has gone from 7.5 to 7. And especially with the announcement today from Eli Drinkwitz that both Bo Perbula and Joe Horn would be playing quarterback against Central Arkansas, it proves that they haven't gotten their quarterback situation figured out. Ole Miss has gone from 8.5 people picking the over to 8.5 picking the under. Not sure about that one.
Yeah.
South Carolina's win total has dropped from 7.5 to 7. I can agree with that one.
Yeah, I can take that.
Tennessee has dropped from 8.5 to 8. More people picking the over on the 8 though, so
I'll take
that's
it.
fair. I would take 8 wins.
I'd take 8 wins, but I don't know what it is, but I'm not saying I'm down in Tennessee because I want them to win. But there's some people that are high on Tennessee.
Yeah, I would say the ESPN FPI loves them. You said CBS Sports had them predicted at 9-3. I mean,
they said they can get to the playoffs. A 9-3 win team.
There's a road to it.
Yeah, I say there's a road out there to it. I don't know if they can get there, but if they knock off a Georgia or a Bama or beat Florida at Florida,
yep,
they can get into the playoffs. They take care of business.
Yeah, got to be sneaky. Texas, exactly same as Georgia, still at the 9.5 mark. Texas A&M has stayed at 8, and Vanderbilt has stayed at 5.5. These are from Circa Sports, so not BetMGM or FanDuel. DraftKings is from Circa Sports. So win totals change and odds change from each service. So.
And this was from May
13th to August 20th.
August 20th. Okay.
So not a whole lot of change up. With some of the teams that have had numbers change, like Arkansas going down a half game, I don't know about that one. Missouri going down, I can see. South Carolina, I can see. Tennessee, I can see. But some of these other, some of these I can understand. Some of them.
Kentucky is easy money for me.
Yeah, if it's 4.5, I'm
taking the under.
Hammering the under on that one.
Yes.
All right, it's Tuesday morning, following the Monday afternoon announcement of Cam Newton's number retirement. Auburn has decided to claim. I don't know the exact number yet because I've still been reading on this trying to figure it out. They've claimed 4 new national championships, but they had like secretly claimed 3 before that, so now their totals to 9 total national championships. We'll get to that in a second. So the 4 they added that they hadn't claimed before today were 1910, 1914, 1958, and 2004. So we'll just start back in 1910. It's a long time ago. They went 6-1 that year with a loss to Texas. Don't agree with them claiming this one. There were a ton of other teams undefeated in 1910. Central University went 9-0, which is now a Division III liberal arts school in Kentucky called Center College. Louisiana Industrial was 7-0, now Louisiana Tech. Navy was 8-0-1. Pitt was 9-0. Harvard was 9-0. I believe Pitt has this one claimed. Going to 1914, 8-0-1 with a tie against Georgia, 0-0. So, I mean, it was a really good defensive team. There were also a lot of other undefeated teams that year. Tennessee was 9-0. Texas was 8-0. Middle Tennessee State Normal, now MTSU, was 5-0-1. Army was 9-0. Harvard was 7-0-2. I believe Army has claimed this one as well. I get it, you didn't lose.
But you can't claim it if you're not in the record book. That's my biggest thing. If you're not in the record book, then...
Well, there are teams with more wins and no ties.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Tennessee and Army, so...
Tells you everything you need to know right there.
Yeah. 1958. They went 9-0-1. They tied with Georgia Tech 7-7. They finished 4th in both the AP and coaches polls. The teams above them were LSU, who's number 1, 11-0, SEC champs, Sugar Bowl champs, and at the time was the consensus national champion. Number 2 was Iowa, who went 8-1-1, were the Big Ten champs, Rose Bowl champs, and the Football Writers of America Association national champions. Number 3 in the country was Army, who was 8-0-1, won the Eastern Championship, which was given to the best team in the Eastern United States. But also undefeated that year was Air Force, who was 9-0-2, and their ties came against that Iowa team that finished 2nd and TCU in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, so for you to be 4th is a good ranking.
Yeah, I would say
you can't take that.
LSU won 2 more games and didn't tie anybody and won the conference. I don't think you can claim that one. So far, I'm okay with the sort of okay with the 1914 one, but so far 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Now 2004 is a confusing one. So that was a big year that kind of led to what we're looking at now with the college football playoff. So Auburn, obviously, that year was 13-0, SEC champions. Regular season, they had won the championship game against Tennessee. They won the Sugar Bowl. So the 2004 college football season finished with 5 unbeatens. Number 1 USC, number 2 Oklahoma, number 3 Auburn, number 5 Utah, and number 10 Boise State. So based off the preseason polls, which is kind of what led to the national championship being what it was with Oklahoma and USC, and not a very good national championship game at that, but you had Oklahoma and USC both in the preseason top 10. Auburn, Utah, and Boise were on the outside looking in. I believe Auburn was the only one out of those ranked. Utah may have been. Putting them at an unfair disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because they just threw USC and Oklahoma out there because they were undefeated and had been up there the entire season.
Exactly.
So this one, like, I can sort of agree with claiming this one because you didn't lose, but the fact is, if you went and played USC in the national championship game that year, you would have gotten beat like a drum. That, I mean,
would have got spanked.
I would say, let me go find the final score of that national championship game.
You got an argument for 2 out of those 4, but you probably would have got beat by all those teams.
Yes, very, very much so. National championship. Yeah, USC beat that Oklahoma team 55-19.
Yeah, I mean it was a dog walk.
I would say
that's the nicest way to put it.
Walk. I would say that probably is the nicest way to put it. I mean, Matt Leinart threw for 330 yards and 5 touchdowns. Lindell White had 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Reggie Bush had 75 rushing yards.
That defense was underrated too.
Yeah. You had Dwayne Jarrett over 100 yards, Steve Smith over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, this team was incredible. Just incredible top to bottom, really. I mean, and nothing against this Oklahoma team. Jason White had a great game, except he threw 3 passes to the other team. They didn't let Adrian Peterson get loose. I mean, I think they probably got that national championship game right.
Yeah.
But this is the one I'm not mad at because they were perfect that year and just didn't get the opportunity. But this brings their grand total to 9 national championships, which a number I thought was to 2, putting them tied for 7th place overall. And this is where you can kind of tell that some of these that they have claimed are a bit phony. They're tied with Ohio State and Pitt.
Yeah.
2 teams that are historically very good football teams. We've seen Ohio State pretty much the entirety of college football have been really good.
Yeah.
Pitt was one of those teams. They haven't been good as of late, but back before the turn of the century, all the way back the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, were really good.
They were the team to beat in the ACC.
I would say they were a very, very good team.
No, they weren't ACC back
No,
then,
I think it was the Big East
the Big
whatever.
East, yeah. They joined the ACC just
pretty recently.
So,
I don't agree with all these claiming all these national championships.
You got a case for some of it, but
the only one I'm the maddest at is 1910 because you didn't have the best record, you didn't win your conference.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you thinking? Why are you thinking that you won the national championship? Now the biggest proponent against this have been Alabama fans. Obviously, why would you want your rival to claim more national championships? So then people started bringing up a national championship that Alabama claimed in 1941, where they finished 3rd in the SEC. So a lot of animosity between those teams.
2 fan bases that are just going back and forth. No big deal.
Yeah, and 2 fan bases that don't like each other one bit. All right, so when we get back from the break, we got 2 more football schedules to go over to leading up to the season. We got Missouri and Oklahoma, and that'll be next here on the SEC Tailgate.
Arctic Air keeps your home or business comfortable. For more than 20 years, we provided outstanding residential and commercial services through southern Middle Tennessee. Whether you need assistance with your heat, air conditioning, preventive maintenance, or anything in between, trust our reliable team to get the job done. We'll take the time to figure out your specific needs and recommend what we believe is right and best for your situation.
We've been using Arctic Air for over 15 years now. Their service is great, they're here when we need them, and their prices are competitive. They take the worry out of the heat and air so I don't have to.
Arctic Air. When you need us, we'll be there.
Hey everyone, this is Landon Saunders.
And this is Nate Patterson with Cloud9 Fiber.
We're excited to finally be able to offer Lawrenceburg our blazing fast, reliable, and affordable fiber internet services.
If you're looking for a more reliable and more affordable provider, we at Cloud9 Fiber have you covered.
Plans start at $50 a month, and we can offer up to a gigabit to your home or business.
We are excited to be able to offer your first month of service entirely free. We encourage you to sign up on cloud9fiber.com or by calling 931-201-9098 so we can help you make the switch today.
The storm doesn't ask. It takes. It tests. It pushes everything to its limit. Some things are built different. Some things are built to last. Tested by the elements, proven by time, engineered for whatever comes next. Summertown Metals, strength in every storm, building dreams that last.
Working with Gina was great because she really knows this area. I gave her the specifications of what I was looking for, and she took me right to my forever home.
I met Gina when she sold my son's home within 5 days after it hit the market. With my home, from the day the sign hit the yard to the day we signed the papers, Gina was there every step of the way. Her involvement in the sale of my home was the best decision that I made.
We never felt like Gina was pushing us to make a deal with a buyer. She knew what we wanted, and she worked diligently to get us the best offer for our properties.
Working hard for my clients to make their dreams come true. Let me work for you.
Gifts and goodies galore await you at Miss Millie's in downtown Lawrenceburg. From brands you know and love, like E. Newton Jewelry and Tyler Diva Wash, to unique specialty gifts, you will find it all here. Whether you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you love or shopping for yourself, shopping local is the way to go. We have home goods, women's fashion and accessories, baby items, and lots of seasonal decorations. Our friendly staff will welcome you in, help you find what you need, and even package your gifts for you. Also, we can't forget to tell you about our popular bridal registry. Future brides can come and create their perfect registry with us. So stop by Miss Millie's today. We're located in the northeast corner of the square in downtown Lawrenceburg.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back to the final segment here on the SEC Tailgate. Here on this Wednesday, and the two teams we are looking over their schedules, Hayden, we got Missouri and Oklahoma. We'll start first in Como. They got a Thursday night game this year. Just opened up the season against Central Arkansas at 6:30.
Chopped up. It's a win.
Yeah, that's your FCS opponent. Good to get it out of the way. Quick win, 1-0. The next week you host Kansas, which could end up being a pretty big game. Kansas was 5-7 last year, but we're off to a terrible start, and then went on a stretch. I believe it was 3 or 4 games in a row, beating ranked opponents in the Big 12.
Either Kansas is good at the start of the year, or they're good at the end of the year.
I think it's going to be another good at the end of the year. I have Missouri winning this one and starting 2-0. A game that I feel like is going to be a little underrated, just looking at things. 10-4. Louisiana was a very, very good team last year. They should be a very, very good team this year. But this game's put on ESPN Plus or the SEC Network Plus. Either way, I still have Missouri taking that one. 3-0 and heading on a big home game this year against South Carolina. This was a game they let slip away from them on the road last year. I have them dropping this one.
I do too.
I think South Carolina
is going to be too much for them.
I think you're going to see, going over some of these Missouri scores later in the season, that they got really lucky in a lot of games last year. Then they're hosting 2-10 UMass at home. We'll chalk that one up. You're 4-1 heading into your first bye week. Everything looks good, and then
hosted the first 6 games of your season. That is nice.
Yeah, and then week 6, October 11th.
Yep.
Play at home against Alabama.
That's a loss.
And that's that. Yeah, I would say we had Alabama winning that one on our Alabama schedule, so that one already translated to a loss. But here's a cool thing, or you call it cool. You can say if you're not cool, if you're not a Missouri fan. Week 7, October 18th. Their first road game is in the middle of October.
Middle of October.
They play their first 6 weeks at home. At Auburn, who went 5-7 last year. Missouri squeaked away with a win at home last year. I have them losing this one to Auburn.
I think so, too.
I think Auburn's going to be a little bit better. Maybe. I would say Auburn is a big wild card with all these. The next week, they travel to Nashville and face Vanderbilt. They beat Vanderbilt in double overtime last year. I don't think they're getting it done this year, though. I think they're going to drop this one. I think Diego Pavia's got a little bit of a get back to him. And just like that, Hayden, heading into the second bye week, we're 4-4. And you're like, oh, boy, we got to get to a bowl game. Looking at their last couple of games, though, I think a bowl game is very manageable. They got Texas A&M at home. Texas A&M embarrassed them last year on the road, 41-10. I think they're going to lose again to this.
I think so, too.
I think Texas A&M is going to be pretty good, but I just don't see them winning this one. But, hey, you get a toss-up. You get, not a toss-up, an easy one, a freebie pretty much, at home against Mississippi State. So, there you go, 5-5. Now you got a game at Oklahoma. This one's very interesting because Oklahoma was not as good last year. Missouri was a lot better than Oklahoma last year. And it was at Missouri, and Missouri won by 7, 30-23. I really don't know what's going to happen in this one, but if I had to guess, I'm going to say Oklahoma takes that one.
I think Missouri's going to catch them. Whoa. I think Missouri's going to catch Oklahoma on a bad day. So
I would say this is where I have, I guess, a little sneak peek for earlier. This is where I have Oklahoma finally picking up a big one right here. And then week 12, they go on the road to face Arkansas. I don't think Arkansas is going to be very good this year. I have that a win. And so our pick, that's 6-6.
Yep. I've got 7-5 for Missouri. I think that's respectable for them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I just got 6. So 6-6. For me, I had a best case at 10-2 because I do think on their schedule, if you look at games, I think the only ones they don't really have locked up. Yeah. I think South Carolina's going to have their number again this year, and I don't think that really there's any way they beat Alabama.
Yeah, I think South Carolina they lose that one and then beat UMass, and they go on a 4-game losing streak from Alabama, Auburn, Vanderbilt, and Texas A&M.
Yeah. All right, so going over to Boomer Sooner, who a lot of people were very high on this year. They made a bunch of big splashes in their transfer portal. They got a pretty brutal schedule, Hayden.
They do.
So we'll start it off. The week 1, they face their FCS opponent, a 10-4 Illinois State team, but it's an FCS team. We'll chalk up a win. Week 2, probably the biggest game of that week. The boys from Ann Arbor heading south to Oklahoma. A matchup that I feel like we should see a lot more often. Yeah. Give me some big matchups early in the season. I got Oklahoma winning this one. I just don't think we're going to know what we're getting from Missouri or from Michigan yet. They're also going to be dealing with coaching suspensions and stuff like that. I think that they're just going to be in a little bit too much turmoil for this one. Week 3, they had to Philly and play Temple, who went 3-9 last year. Oklahoma won that one 51-3 in Norman last year. So I got them 3-0 heading into that Week 4 game against Auburn, a game I do have them winning against Auburn. And look at this, Oklahoma.
They can catch Michigan. I was looking back at that one, but going 4-0 after that,
because I think Michigan's coming off a bit too much of a high at the end of the season, just from beating Ohio State, beating Alabama, and now
they'll start off rough and then they'll pick it up.
I think we're going to see what we saw from them last year and start a little rough, and then go in. So after your first 4 games, you're 4-0 heading into the first bye week, and you come out with a game against a team that didn't win a game last year, Kent State, and you're probably going to win that one.
Yeah, I'd say you're going to win that one.
But here comes the fun if you're an Oklahoma fan. Well, you got the game against Texas at the Cotton Bowl. Texas pretty much embarrassed y'all last year, 34-3. I think we're probably going to see a little bit more of the same. I think it'll be close, but I have Texas winning this one.
Yep, I've got Texas winning this one.
And then the next week they head on the road to take on South Carolina, a game where they got smoked last year. South Carolina beat them 35-9. I got them winning this one. I don't think they're going to be on a big enough fall yet for this one to trip them up, but I do have them beating South Carolina.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that one. It's a toss-up for me, just because you're going to South Carolina. I know that place is going to be rocking, and I'm sure it's going to be, in the afternoon, or if it's at night, you're screwed. Yeah. So, I'll give them the win on that one, though. I say South Carolina.
It's a toss-up.
It
but
is.
I have Oklahoma winning this one.
I think they'll squeak out of there. Yeah.
But they got a rough stretch coming down here. The next week they host Ole Miss, a game in which they lost. This was kind of where they turned the switch last year. I think it's going to be where they turn the switch this year, but not in a good way. I have them losing to Ole Miss.
I've got them losing to Ole Miss too.
And then the next week coming off that, well, you've had 2 losses in 3 weeks after starting off 5-0. You head to Knoxville on the day after Halloween. That place is going to be blacked out and loud. Mm-hmm. I got Tennessee winning that one. I got Oklahoma losing that one. Yep. So you head into your next bye week. You've taken a couple losses. You've taken 3 now. You're 6-3 with your last 3 games coming up. You got some tough ones. The first one being at Alabama, one that they have circled from last year, and I think you're going to get a little bit worse taste of it.
You're going to get a spanking.
Yeah, I got Alabama winning that one big. The next week they host Missouri, a game that they lost last year very closely, a game I think they're winning this year.
I picked Missouri to win that one, so I've got them losing.
And then last week of the season, we already did our LSU schedule prediction. We had LSU beating Oklahoma.
I had Oklahoma beating LSU actually. So.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So that I guess evens out our schedules. Yeah. Is that 8-4?
I think it is.
Let's check.
Let's see. You lose to Texas. You beat 1, 2, 3, 4.
I only got 7.
I've got 7 wins. Yeah.
7-5, and this is a very good Oklahoma team, but. You go on that stretch from October 11th to really just the end of the season.
After that Kent State game, you could lose any of those games.
Yeah, Texas at South Carolina, Ole Miss at Tennessee at bye week.
Yeah,
they're thanking for that one. At Alabama, home against Missouri, home against LSU. Now, LSU could very well have fallen apart by this point in the season, and they could win that game. But right now, just looking off what we know in the preseason, It's rough, but I got Missouri going 6-6 and Oklahoma going 7-5.
Yeah.
Best case, I think 8-4. I think that really, I don't see them beating Ole Miss. I don't see them beating Alabama. I don't see them beating Texas. Really, other than that, they could win most of their other games. Worst case scenario, though, guys, they beat Illinois State, they beat Temple, they beat Kent State, and maybe Missouri, maybe Auburn, maybe Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a rough year in Oklahoma.
Same.
And my hot take here, if Brent Venables gets fired, the next head coach at Oklahoma, John Gruden.
John Gruden.
Oh.
He wants an SEC
He
job.
wants
Doesn't
an
matter
SEC
where.
job, and that might be the next one opening up. So that will do it for our Wednesday edition of SEC Tailgate. We'll be back Friday, where we have we're going to do keep or drop SEC win totals. We're going to look at a different sports book, so didn't already spoil everything. And we have Ole Miss and South Carolina schedules, two very interesting ones coming up Friday. So for Michael Marks and Hayden Burks, this has been the SEC Tailgate. Have a good day, everybody.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.